What's happening? What's happening?
Good morning. Good morning.
Let's see here.
Morning, Mr. Bean, sir.
Good
Good
morning.
Good
morning, Mr.
morning, Mr. Bean.
Good
Good
morning.
morning, beautiful people. What's happening? Let's see here. Get ready to get it crack a lack in there. Let's see
Good
here.
morning.
All right,
Good
all right, all right.
morning.
Let's see here. Okay. So definitely go ahead and make sure you give everybody a last minute text message. Let them know we won't be long here today. We will not have a full training. Just want to touch base with you guys and get a what we call a blitz on 30-second reflections and things like that. Definitely want to make sure we get what's happening in your lives, but we want to get it done um, at a rapid speed. So 30 seconds is what we want to go for today. And so we'll definitely, while everybody's getting on, we'll give everybody another 60 seconds for you guys to continue to make your text messages, continue to put your messages in your groups, and get ready to get this thing off the ground. One thing I can say is we will have a great show today. Power pack, 2 hours, with the company. You guys are going to get a chance to hear from all of the traders. You guys are going to get a chance to hear from the new, the CEO with the new app that we partner with. Uh, a lot of great information is going to be delivered today, and you definitely want to make sure that today is the morning that you start making all your phone calls this morning to remind people where they're supposed to be, right? Make sure that everybody who agreed to be there is there, because from the time that they get started, the time we get started rather, and to the time we finish, you'll have people upgrading, from your groups. You'll have people who are getting themselves positioned and started from, your prospect list in your pipeline, and people will actually be able to make a buying decision today, as opposed to being sold. So when you're not on this call today, we turn you loose. It's to make phone calls and make sure people know that if they're not there at that event today, it's going to really cost them. So that's one of the things we want to make sure that people understand, get that in their spirit. So um, if they miss it, it won't be on yours. All right. So let's see here. All right. So we'll go ahead, Carla. We'll start with you. Like I said, guys, watch Carla. Carla, she's gonna do it right. We want to make sure we get, again, this is the lightning round when it comes to reflections, and I'm still going to give you guys a little feedback, but I want to make sure we are on purpose with this morning. Muted. You muted, Carla.
Good morning. Good morning. So the lesson that I learned this week from all of the trainings and everything is, and what I also missed this week is my blessing on Wednesday. Um, but enough of that. But the power of decidedness as well as the power of gratitude. Those are the two pieces that I got out of the Millionaire Mindset this week. So thank you very much for allowing me to share.
So when it comes to power of decidedness and the power of gratitude, why those two things?
Those two, because, just making that decision, if the decision doesn't happen to be the best decision, make it the right decision,
Mhm.
for me. And also the power of gratitude, because there's some things that I have, examined myself, and I was like, you know what, I haven't really expressed gratitude for the small things, right? So
Mhm.
those are the two things that came up to me for me this week. That's it. Thank you so much.
And the cool part about it is sometimes it's all you need. And Carla, I actually made you a host, co-host, so if you can help me let everybody else in while we're going through, it'd be great, like you always do. But guys, when you talk about decidedness, you have a lot of people who very, very unsuccessful people. What they do is they think they need 100% of the information before they make a decision, and what they do is the information they look for is not to validate that they're making the right decision. Basically, is to actually talk themselves out of decisions. So the more time you give a person to do their research and try to make a decision, the more time you'll give them to self-sabotage, right? So what extremely successful people do is they get enough of the right information, okay? And then once they make that decision, even if they realize, you know what, this may not be the best decision, they make it the best decision, right? Could I have other things that I had could have done, besides this company? Yes. And when I got started in the company and I realized that solar wasn't going to be the thing for me, and that we had things that the company needed to fix, like consultants and affiliates, instead of everybody being a builder. Yeah, that was a lot of time that we had go by the wayside, that we wasted before we figured everything out. But instead of me quitting and saying, you know what, this is not the company for me, I made my decision the best decision possible, and I started uh, basically putting my impact on the situation and changing things, right? And so, again, that's what leaders do. That's what business people do. That's what successful people do. They make a decision, and then they make the decision work. Okay. And so that's important. And then gratitude, just you can always find something to be grateful for, guys. Always, 100% of the time. Always. Um, you just want grand things to be grateful for. You want things to stick out, pop out. Like, thank you, God, for giving me a brand new car. No, just thank you, God, for allowing me to open my eyes. I appreciate you. You know what I mean? So, again, it's the little stuff that gets you to the big stuff. If you don't know how to appreciate the little stuff, guys, you won't be rewarded, with the big stuff. If you don't know how to be grateful for the little things, he won't give you the great things. All right. So thank you, Carla, for kicking this thing off. Del Boudreaux,
Yes, sir, Mr. Bean. Can you hear me?
loud and clear, senor.
So, I'm just loving every minute of this. I'm telling you, you want to talk about the power of celebration? I mean,
Mhm.
I've been celebrating for months now because, for me, even when I had the inkling of we was going into trading, I knew the last time that I traded that it's about the mindset. It's about, when Donnie talks about pushing the button, man, you got to have a mindset and figure out what kind of trader you are, right? And so, first of all, that falls right into the power of environment. He's created an environment of excitement, an environment of simplicity, and an environment of just relaxation, of learning how to trade. And that right there unto itself, man, is a huge, huge win for everybody, including me. So, man, what I've been doing since, Mr. Donnie Pip showed up is trying to get my mind right on trading. And that is something that for me I struggled with last time, but I started putting trades in and set them and for like Ronco, set them and forget them, and I tried scalping and all of that in the last 2 weeks. I've been trying all this stuff, and I finally figured out, man, what I'm pretty good at when it comes to trading. So I like the Ronco set it and forget it, and then just walk away. Right. So, but finding that mindset and, those keys of transformation to me, Mr. Bean, were just money. There's money in the bank. If anybody heard those millionaire mentorship calls, both of them, I mean, you need to get I have those on loop. I mean, I really do because it just created this, I don't even know what to call it, man, this drive to get this done. Right.
Mhm.
So that's where I'm at, Mr. Bean. Those, that's wins for me this
Yeah,
week in the midst of all kinds of stuff going on. But
it's
everybody's
all
got all
good.
kinds of stuff going on.
Right,
So that's
right.
my wins for the week. I appreciate the platform, Mr. Bean. I really appreciate you and Mrs. Bean and
Mhm.
putting us in this position again, putting us in this position.
Well, we're here, and so I appreciate that. And guys, like I said, the power of celebration and the power of environment. Uh, first of all, you got to celebrate the expectation. You know what I'm saying? Just like, you have women who, when they get pregnant, right? He's like, man, I got pregnant, found out I'm pregnant, it's positive. And all of a sudden, you get into this era of expectation, man. I'm excited. I'm about to have my first child. You start buying stuff, you start shopping for stuff, you start taking classes, you know what I'm saying? For Lamaze classes and all kind of, you start anything, everything. You start pre-registering at this, Babies R Us and all this. you're expecting, you know what I'm saying? And so you are celebrating, expectation of what's about to happen 9 months ago. And I'm at 9 months later. And so you guys got to learn how to celebrate the expectations of what's about to happen 6 months from now. Okay? You got to learn how to walk into that expectation as if you're about to give birth to a new business, a new life, new economics, a new economy in your household under your roof, a new residual income level, a new rank level. You got to learn how to walk into celebration, and that power of celebration is key. It's not just when you're in the ring and you got your belt, you holding your belt up high like you Rocky. You know what I'm saying? Like you can just knocked everybody out and won the tournament. No, it's just knowing what's about to happen, right? Man, I celebrate my wife and I. We just been the last past 2 or 3 weeks lately. Um, I've been in the air of celebration, for my son, my oldest son, and so celebrating the man that he's going to be because I see all the things that I've been teaching him, come to fruition. I see all the things that I've been teaching him start to come out of him, the maturity level and the man that he's become, the young man he's becoming at 17 years old in a minute. All of that stuff, I'm celebrating one, the work that we put in as parents, but I'm celebrating, the work that he's now putting in, and that his recognition of the information and the utilization of the recognition, the information, and then where he's going. I get a chance to now not have to worry about my son's future because I know for what type of man he's becoming. I'm celebrating that, right? The power of celebration. So same thing, environment. Guys, this is a part of your environment. And we do whatever we got to do to make sure that you're good to go, while we got you here, because we know that as soon as you leave here, guess what? You go back to the rest of the world. You go back to your job, you go back to your husband, your wife, your kids, your dog, your cat, your problems and challenges. And that's part of your life that we can't control. So we got to do the best thing that we can for you while we got you, right? The impact that we have here with you guys, it's unless you understand how to take this information and take that impact and keep it in your pocket and in your spirit the whole entire time while you're walking. um some of y'all, you don't know how to keep it on, so it turns off like an automatic switch. Like you walk in a room, the light comes on, you walk out the room, the light turns off automatically. That's how some of you guys, use this information and use this environment. If you kept it on loop, like Dale said, you stay in the environment, right? He's keeping himself in the environment because he's using the information, right? He's using the training, he's using the system to stay in the environment. And some of you guys, again, you try to figure out why things are so negative around you, right? Because the things you're listening to, are so negative around you. And some of the stuff that you're listening to, you don't even know you're listening to it because it's coming from the radio, social media, CNN news, constantly negative news, your friends, your family. If you're listening to personal development all the time, trainings that you're supposed to be listening to all the time, what can't you listen to? Negative stuff, negative people, your negative self, right? Remember, there's always internal dialogue going on 100% of the time. Like right now, I'm talking to you and you're talking to you. There's two conversations going on right now, right? And I know it because some of your faces are smiling, some of your faces are laughing, some of your faces are frowning, some of your faces are stoic because of what you're saying to you. Like some of you are saying, you know what, he's right. But you're saying it to you. You're having an internal dialogue right now as we speak. You cannot have another internal dialogue like one that you can control when something else is actively running in your brain. That's why I am always listening to something on personal development. That's why it's hard for you to get me down, and then if you ever get me down, it's hard for you to keep me down because I understand how to get back on track. I know how to plug it in and make it right. I know how to get my mind right, when it comes to my mentality and what I got to do because y'all cannot afford for me to have a bad day, bad week, bad month, bad year. You cannot. I'm important to you, right? But guess what? If I'm important to you in that capacity, why are you allowing things to be negative to you and take up occupancy in your brain and be negative around you when you're important to others? Makes sense, right? So this is where the transfer happens. This is where the shift happens because If you don't make sure that the shift happens, will happen. I'm telling you, this is what we're going to go through today, guys. What we're going to launch today. This is the next chapter. So you can't afford to be negative, on this go around. You have to be positive. You have to have a positive mental, a PMA, positive mental attitude, right? You got to have that shift, and that shift. I'm gonna tell you, just like you, when it comes, like Dale said, when it comes to trading, set it and forget it. When you make the shift, set it and forget it, right? Set it to positive, right? And forget it, right? Set it to positive and let go on auto control, cruise control, and again, always being plugged in, always having something in your ear, always being occupied by something that you're supposed to be doing that's keeping you on track to hit your goals. That's how you set it and forget it, by setting up accountability devices, right? Putting things in place. The only reason you are negative about anything is because you're allowing things to encourage that emotion. So remember, a negative emotion can't exist if it's being saturated by positivity. So if you want a negative spirit to move out, you move a positive spirit in, right? So appreciate it, Dale. Good stuff, guys. Laura Johnson, and thank you guys for keeping it short. I appreciate it.
Oh, good morning, man. Well, thank
Laura, you breaking up on us. Did we lose her? I think she went all the way out. Okay, she'll come back in. Carly, she'll come back in just a second.
Yes, sir. Great morning, Mr. Bean. Can you hear me okay?
Loud and clear. Laura, we're gonna get you right. Oh, she's back on. Laura's back on.
Okay. Do you want Laura to go first or do
thank
you want
you,
me
thank
to?
you.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, thank you so much for allowing me to share. But I can't even express the appreciation I have for you, Mr. Bean, and Mrs. Bean, because what really impacted me this week was in your keys to transformation, the power of clarity, the key of clarity. Because, sometimes our visions get cloudy, but when we're attached to you and to the vision that you have for us, and when we trust in that vision, then we can be clear. We can be clear about the path that we're walking. See, I don't have any sort of doubt about the road that you're paving for us, Mr. B. It doesn't matter if I sometimes don't understand any particular thing. I still know that I have the clarity that you and Mrs. Bean are bringing us on a road that can really take us to where we want to be in our own personal lives. So, to an example of that is that I have a major project that I'm involved with, which I'm on the way to right now. And this week on Wednesday, I had some violent opposition. I was told some very upsetting news, and I was about to flip out, to be
Mhm.
honest with you. But because of the environment, because of the personal development, because of the vision that you have painted for us, I was able to recover, recover much faster than I would have been able to recover at any other time. And then the really reinforcing thing was that I happened to be with a team member at the time.
Mm.
And to put the cherry on the cake was that, the team members saw my immediate response, which was to flip out. But
Mhm.
they also saw me begin to call on the teachings, this too
Mhm.
shall pass. When you have doing something good, you're faced with violent opposition. So call on the things that have been planted in my spirit by you and Mrs. Beam for all these years. And then they pulled out a book that I had suggested to them a couple of weeks ago. And they said, see, Mr. Johnson, this is what I'm reading. And that book was Who Moved My Cheese,
Mhm.
which is about adapting and accepting change. So, all of that is because of you, Mr. Bean, and my willingness to open myself and accept the teachings that you and Mrs. Bean are pouring into me, and doing what's required and doing the best that I can to implement them and follow them in my life. So thank you for allowing me to share.
No problem, no problem. And guys, I'm gonna tell you, it was one of these things I wrote. It was in the Book of Bain a long time ago. It was in 1997, and it was at a prepaid legal meeting. I was in prepaid legal, and it says attach yourself to leadership, or you attach yourself to a losing ship, or a sinking ship, right? And so um, that's very, very important, right? And so when you look at the philosophies, remember when you have a leader, when you choose a leader, you choose a leader that has the philosophies that are very congruent with the philosophies that you have, right? You may not be on the same level with that individual, but at least y'all believe the same, or they believe in a manner and they move in a manner that you want to move in, right? And so you can model that leader, and these are things that are very, very important. And so when it comes to trust, guys, trust goes both ways. Okay. You have to trust that we know what we're doing and that we know what we're talking about and that we got your best interests at heart. We're gonna make best decisions for you. That's how that works, right? But the other thing is this: we got to be able to trust that when we give you information, you're gonna apply it. We got to be able to trust that when we give you instructions, that you're gonna follow it, right? And so that's when you break that trust, at the end of the day, why would I continue to give you information and giving you access and giving you leadership and coaching and mentorship when you've proven to be emotionally unsophisticated and that you can't take my information and process it and utilize it? That means that you don't value it. You value your thinking system over mine. So, or any leader, that's exactly what leaders are, how they move. That's how they think. They're not going to continue to give their time, energy, effort, and resources to people. And so as you develop as a leader, remember, you're going to have these same philosophies because you're not going to let people waste your time. It's like the same thing about dating. If you're dating somebody and they keep on doing the same thing that you can tell them, hey, look, man, I don't date people like that. Yeah. And so if you keep doing this, if you choose to do this, that's fine. That's what you choose to do, but you're never going to do it with me. But every time they do it, you let them back. So okay, they're gonna keep on doing it. So you make that decision, right? You pull the plug, right? Rip the band-aid off. Okay, I'm moving a different direction because I see now I can't trust you to your own vices. I can't trust you, right, to do the right things. I can't trust you to process the information I've given you to make a really good decision. That's important. And then lastly, guys, you're always teaching. And especially when you're around your people, they're watching, right? And they're taking mental notes. And how you handle certain situations. When something happens, or a decision is made, or something goes wrong, bump in the night with a product or service or something, you know, the conversations you have with your team members, a lot of don't know how much damage you do when you think it's a simple negative conversation, right? And it's just digging up the seed, right? You take the positive, down to your team, not the negative. You take the negative up to your senior partners, right? But when they're watching, like I said, when you're in a moment where y'all together, something happens, how you respond, it means the world to them because now they know, oh, I can trust Miss Johnson. She was just put in this situation. I don't know if I would have handled it like that. So I probably would have handled it a whole lot different. You ever heard somebody say, "Girl, you better than me"? Right? Right? That means you took the high road. That means you showed personal development. That means you showed personal growth, right? And so that means that person got a chance to see something in you that they respected, that they admire, and that they appreciate, when it comes to you thinking and behaving on another level. So kudos for you, and I appreciate that. Carly, we rocking and rolling today, boy.
Yeah. Yes, sir, Mr. Bean, I'm here. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am, loud and clear.
Well, you always teach us, sir. First of all, thank you so much for the platform and for everything that you and Mrs. Bean do for us and have created for us. We wouldn't be here without you, that's for sure. But you always teach us when we're out, talking with people to make a connection, to make a friend, that to have that be the goal of what we're doing. And I'm so grateful for that lesson. Reggie and I actually met someone years ago sharing some delicious coffee.
Mhm. Mhm.
And that person never got, we just didn't connect on a business level at that time. But because you also teach us to always stay in contact, to always share and keep sharing and keep taking action, even if it's messy, even if we don't understand everything. I started having people reach out to me when I was sharing trading results, and some that person actually connected with me and said, "Hey, this is what I've been looking for," and actually partnered with us last night. And he's actually on the call this morning. So thank you,
Hmm.
Mr. Bean, for always teaching us to just look to connect with people and not always be trying to just sell or promote what we're talking about, but just look to connect, because I know because of that is what caused us to stay connected and for him to be on the line today.
Okay, what's him's name?
P- Peter Lee is his name.
What's going on, Billy? Good morning. Welcome to the family, man. And I'm looking forward to communicating and connecting with you in the future and help you go through this process, man. Welcome to the family. Everybody's showing some love. Welcome, Billy, to the
Thank
family.
you.
There you go.
Thank you so much,
Yes, sir.
Carly. Thank you, Mr. B.
For sure. Welcome. All right. And so, but guys, I'm gonna tell you that you have the ability, right, to impact people's lives indirectly, and so when you actually, especially if you're a good person, right, and if you're a good person, you're a good human being to people, and you actually end up doing something that people is interested in, they want to join you. They just don't want to join you in what you were doing, 2 years ago or 5 years ago. It's not for them because remember they made a business decision. They just didn't want to be in that business, right? And that's the thing about network marketing. I would tell people all the time when we were in network marketing, hey, you have network marketing behavior, network marketing emotions. You have, and those are emotions and behavior of people who have entitlement syndromes. Like you feel like your family should do business with you because you're in business. You feel like your friends should do business with you because you're in business. That's not how it works. If you have a Fortune 500 company, you have meetings and you have people who fly in and sit in your boardroom and y'all have a conversation about whether or not y'all want to have a merger or y'all want to have some acquisitions going on or y'all want to do some business. If not, they fly home and then you go and then you have a conversation with the next company or the next. But in network marketing, you treat it differently. And again, this is business. That's why I say you take your network marketing hat off, throw it away, and put your business hat on, right? Because that's what people are looking. They want to see if they're joining a business person or if a network marketing is a person is calling them, right? Is this business to you or is this, an enrollment program, right? And so, no, that's very, very powerful, guys. I appreciate that, Carly, that because somebody need to hear that. You don't have to sign somebody up the first day you meet them, right? And my agenda when I meet people is to make a friend. If we happen to do business later on in life, that's fantastic. I had a young lady today. Well, this matter of fact, me and Eddie Weeks, we had a day on Wednesday where I practice what I preach. I had a conversation with the corporate leader, the CEO himself, Winston Navarro, and he told me, hey, man, you should go and check out the Online Business Academy because he said they got a $35,000 program, $20,000. I paid $21,000 for their program years ago and then Donnie Pips paid $20,000 for their program years ago as well. He said, but they have a program, that people pay $35,000 for now and then $20,000 for now. And it's basically we teach it, but it's the system and how they run the system. He said, so you should go and check it out because what they do works. And so, what, I went. I scheduled a meeting. I scheduled one of their classes, one of their open orientations, rather. Eddie went with me. We went in there. We saw how they ran the operation, right? Got some ideas. Realized that we got people are paying $35,000 for what we give. What we give our people for $199 and $99 a month. And so it's crazy, but it's about value. It's about the big ticket pitch and sale. It's about them knowing, okay, how do I build up so much value, right, to this person that they're willing to give me $20,000. They're willing to give me $30,000 for it, right? And if they can build up enough value to get $20,000, like one signature, one stroke of a check, or $35,000, one signature, one stroke of a check, one swipe of a card, I mean, why can't you come up with enough value to get 199 from a person? Right? And that's the thing. What are you actually offering? And they're looking also at who's doing the offering. What type of value do you personally bring to the table outside of the company? We literally, and I went there because I was sitting next to a lady, and her name was Thuy, and obviously Vietnamese lady. You know, I'm looking at her name and she's talking to people, so she's friendly. And I said, "Hey, are you your name Thuy?" She said, "Yeah." She said, "Yeah." I said, "How do you know?" I said, "Because my wife's Vietnamese." So now remember, I'm using the form technique, right? And yeah, my wife's Vietnamese. As a matter of fact, my sister-in-law's name is Thuy. And so she said, "Oh, really? Oh my God!" And so your wife's Vietnamese? I said, "Yeah, yeah." I found a picture of my wife. I found the most attractive picture of my wife I could. Oh my God, your wife's beautiful. So I'm giving, I'm going, and so yeah, yeah, yeah. And so yeah, I just and so we had a little conversation, and then I let it go. Right after we had the conversation, talked about my sister-in-law's business, my sister Trey's restaurant, and my sister-in-law her cell phone shop, and just oh yeah, and so she was retired and looking for something to do. And and so what ended up happening was after the whole entire deal was over with, I approached her again and let her know, well, since you're from Chicago, like I said, let's just change numbers and maybe you, me, and my wife can get together and have lunch or something one day and talk about Houston and stuff like that since you're here to support your sister and be here for your sister. Oh yeah, yeah, that's great. So Twee gave me a number and she called me. Actually, I had her call me. So to make sure I got her number in my phone, I had her call me. Right, locked it in, and I sent her a text message. Say, it was really a pleasure meeting you. If you have any questions about anything that goes on in Houston, let us know. We'd be happy to help you, and we'd be happy to communicate with you. So she calls me and asks me, "Hey, so you're not going to do the program?" I said, "No, no, 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 no." She said, "Well, why were you there?" I said, "Well, I was there because I respect people who've done things bigger than me, and I wanted to see what the system was like because I own my own trading platform." She's like, "Oh, you do?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "So I wanted to come and see how what they do after they get you in the room for free." I said, "So now." They got us in with the free, promo, and then they said, "Hey, it's 299 at the beginning of the thing, right?" I said, "But remember, before we left, they gave it, they knocked it down for 199 for the day, right?" And then, and what you're getting, what they told you you're getting for 3 days is you get this orientation, you get this strategy session, you get this, that, and other, and for you, that sounds like it's an amazing deal on the surface, and it is, right? I said, "You're getting $199 worth of stuff and some." I said, "But that's not what they're selling you. Okay. They basically charge you $199 for an opportunity to sell you on 20,000." I said, you basically that's what just happened. I said, when they get in there and they hit you with that 3 days of conversation, it you're gonna have visions of grandeur. It's gonna sound so good, and you're gonna see your future, and they're gonna see $20,000 or they're gonna see $35,000. She's like, "Oh my God." And I said, "Yeah." I said, "But what they do works." I said, "They've been around for a long time." I said, "They've made a lot of people traders, and they turned the people into traders." I said, so I said, "But I said, but that's their thing." I said, "So I said we're just a little bit different, and it's only 199 with us and 99 a month." And so and so one thing that's another had a conversation. So she'll be on the Super Saturday today, right? And so but that's the kind of I never talked bad about the company. I never, went in and said, "Oh no, they paying way too much. You being charged way too much." I was just teaching her the process, the business process, so she can see what was about to happen to her. So when she goes into that class, that 3-day class, which is actually on the 25th, so she won't be in our Houston event, but she will be in the PIP University group when she opens up her Facebook account. Um, but at some point in time, she's going to be at one of our live events as well because that's what she likes. But it's all about being personable, guys. It's always about being somebody marketable. It's always about putting yourself in a position where you can serve individuals, as opposed to just always thinking about recruiting, right? If you're thinking about recruiting that person when you meet that person, it's going to come out in your conversation and you're going to run them away. Okay. If you think about helping that person and serving that person when you meet that individual, right, connecting with that person, and then they'll stay, right? And then they'll join you as opposed to being recruited. Okay. So, okay. And then, so thank you very much again, Laura, and Carla, I mean, Carly for the good stuff. That right there, you got to put yourself in a position where you go through the numbers. Don't treat people like numbers, but make sure you go out there and some of y'all need new friends anyway. Some of y'all need new associates and people to be a part of your new five. Some of y'all need to upgrade your fave five. Some of you need to have your fave five for family and friends, and then you have the fave five for associates and communication, right? Who you talking to, the amount of net worth they have in this fave five over here versus the one that you had over here, right? So glad you guys, glad that you had that comment because Carly, that's let me see here. What was the other thing you said? Oh yeah, just being out there, guys. But just being out there, being who you are, being genuine, and that people give people a chance to meet you and get to know you, and because people do business with people who they like, they know, and that they trust. All right. So Jim, and then we'll have Angel.
Hey, good morning, Mr. Bean. Appreciate
Good
the
morning.
platform. Um, Definitely a time of year of reflection for me. A year ago, we were out in Downey, California, followed Barry Overton out there because he said he had something to show me. Went on
Mhm.
faith, man, and enjoyed the event out in Downey, got the belief. When you are reflecting on a year, you can certainly think about the things that you didn't accomplish.
Mhm.
But I'm choosing to reflect on the things I did.
Mhm.
Right, still kind of focused on the solar. Well, not kind of, but still focused on the solar and making that work here in Colorado and beyond. But so many things that Build is offering right now, and just trying to stay in my lane, man, and stay focused. So just a year
Mhm.
of reflection for me. I have this saying called Ancora Impara, still learning. This business definitely challenges us in every aspect of that. So
Mhm.
many things that we're still learning, but I'm enjoying the journey, man. Trusting the journey.
Mhm.
Definitely love being in business with the beans and all of the people that surround you guys. So just
Yeah,
enjoy being here this morning.
no problem. And you know what? I'm glad you said that. What you said when it comes to um, still learning, right? You're still learning means you're still growing, right? And that's the most important thing, right? And this is the thing I want you to learn today. And this will give you hope. I mean, when you look at Donnie brought on a trader, well, he brought on a trader by the name of JCL, which you guys will hear from today. And matter of fact, you guys heard from last week, actually. Y'all had the sneak peek and sneak preview of JCL last week. Well, JCL is not a recruiter, but he was in a company, and that's a trading company, right? And the people who he introduced me to the other day, these people are coming on board. Now, they're traders, but they're also in solar in Puerto Rico. So they're building two different teams. They're building a solar team and they're building a trading team. And so I had JC talk to them in Spanish about trading, about solar yesterday, and I've had extensive conversations with them about two things. One, the trading, and two, the compensation plan, because the compensation plan when it comes to the memberships is ridiculous. But right now you're learning solar, okay, but you understand finances. You're learning solar, but you understand that the state of finances and the economy, economical situations that people who are in your age bracket, what they're going through right now, and what they need right now. And what they need is that skill of trading as well, right? And so right now, you and Jackie, y'all may want to start to communicate with people on building a trading community as well, and start talking about financial, empowerment and things like that, and start building a real good bubble, if you will, of those type of because those are the conversations they're having. And oh, by the way, if you sell somebody solar, in that group, that's fine, right? Oh, you got solar too? I need solar, right? And so that's kind of what happens. You get a person in the system on one thing, and they'll figure out you got other things. Like JCL brought him in for trading, but he knew people who was in solar, right? And so he's focused 100% on trading. He's not even focused on recruiting. It's just trading, but he knows people in solar. So when you actually look at the demographic of people who who you communicate with the most and what's their biggest need, not not the need that you want to create for them, right? Add that to your portfolio. Right now, you want to take the one thing that the company is going in momentum in, and you want to expose as many people to it as possible while you're learning solar, right? Because we got it on this side. If you put it, you give them and put them in that system, in the system where they can see, um, PIP where they can see the free boot camps, where they can see, the live tradings, the live trainings and stuff like that. They can see. Like I told lady, look, you're gonna pay $199 for a 3 day, session. I said, I'm giving you 2 3 day, I'm giving you 2 3 hour boot camps. So one boot camp, 2 days, 3 hours a day for free. I'm giving you access to live trading for free. I'm giving you access to live training that he's done, for free. That for our free week. I said, I'm giving you everything for free. And guess what? If and when you decide to move forward, it's only going to be $199 and 99 a month. I said, so I'm not asking you for nothing except for you to give yourself a chance to see, our system versus their system, so you can make the best decision for you. If you feel like $20,000 is worth it, and I can tell you right now, if you're gonna do exactly what they teach you to do, it'll be worth it. Okay, I said, but you might want to keep that $20,000. All right. She said, well, I don't have $20,000. She said, matter of fact, my budget is XYZ. I said, well, you definitely need to be watching what we got going on over here then. Because if your budget is only $10,000 and they're gonna charge you 20 to 30, yeah, you need not put yourself in a situation, because what are you going to invest after you pay them the 20 to 30? Okay? And so we have people over here who are pulling trades and making money on trades live while he's trading. So that's the thing. It's about, remember, the word entrepreneur, right? That has a definition that most people really don't understand. It's the person who solves a problem, right? The per Any problem that you can solve for yourself, you can get paid to solve for somebody else, right? So I'm telling y'all, this is why you need to learn how to trade. The problem that you have of being fearful of trading, if you when you solve that problem, you can solve that problem for other people, right? The problem that you have for not making, like I said, literally being behind in bills or living check to check, month to month, that's a problem. You solve that problem through trading. You can now solve the problem for everybody else, right? And get paid to do it. People want to hear from people who are doing it, not people who are selling it. That's why I tell you all the day long, your diaries. And the crazy part about it is when we talk about the trust factor, most of y'all don't really trust me. You like me. Most of y'all, a lot of you love me. A lot of you love me, but you don't trust me, right? Your image on social media is more important than the advice I give you, right? And so I can do that by I can just go to your social media page and tell you you don't trust me because I ask each and every last one of y'all to start your social journey, your social journal. Day one, day two, day three. But if I'd have charged you $100,000 for my time, I saw day one. I saw pre-day, yesterday, day one, day two, day three, day four. If you paid $100,000 for the information I gave you, you would have thought it was crazy information, but you'd did it because you paid $100,000 for it. Right or right? C or C, right? I know the answers. I'm just telling you, I am in a position to lead you for a reason. I don't practice on people. That's what scientists do. They're trying to figure it out, right? They're trying to figure out new solutions to things by practicing on people. What I've done, guys, is documented. I'm just giving you information that I know that'll help you out and help you overcome the things that you're trying to get that you need to overcome, right? Because that's what's standing between you and your bag, your thought process. The moment you allow me to think for you, and change how you move and how you behave and how you attack different things, that's when you'll start to see the results. Because, like they said, the thinking that you have been thinking your whole entire time has gotten you to where you're at right now today, right? And that same thinking is not going to change anything that you're going through at this point in time. If you had the ability to change it, you would have changed it by now. When I was at my brokest and I was at my worst, I never ever relied on my own thinking. I always took somebody's advice that was way wealthier than I. And guess what? Once I made a ton of money and once I made millions of dollars, guess what? I never ever relied on my own thinking. I used it, but I continued to upgrade my thinking by continuing to listen to people who had more money than me. Just telling you, there's wealthy people move different. Wealthy people think differently. Wealthy people don't care what other people think. If a wealthy person who, I'm talking about a person who have zero in the bank, they have a wealthy mentality because they lost everything because of the stock market. They lost everything because of the crash. They lost everything because Enron was Enron. A wealthy person is going to find someone who has their answer and not their problem, and they're going to follow that person's instructions until successful. That's what wealthy people do. Wealthy people don't care about people on social media. They care. They don't see a broke person cares more about likes and image on social media. Wealthy people care more about impact, right? And building relationships and building a following and building a, it's two totally different mindsets, right? So I want to make sure you guys get that. Jim, Jackie, make sure you guys are uh, putting yourself in a position where you actually have those conversations with people right now. Figure out, get into these communities on social media, get into these communities in Denver, and start finding out where you guys can add value when it comes to financial education. All right. Let's see here. Angel. And by the way, happy birthday, Angel. Happy 25th birthday, Angel. And by the way, so look,
Good morning,
we see we froze. Did you freeze on us? Or that's
Mr.
just,
Bean. Good morning.
let me see here. Y'all keep on giving her happy birthdays while she's unfreezing. Let's see here. Come on. Let's see here. Angel, I don't know if
Yep.
you let me see here. Turn your camera off and turn it back on real quick. Let's see if we can see you or hear you. See if we can make something happen over here. Okay, so she logged off. Then she's gonna log back in. I want to make sure because Angel's been rocking and rolling. She's been making some things happen. Y'all been seeing her posts and stuff like that. Don't want to steal her joy or anything she may be saying, but or may be about to say. But there she goes. Now she's not frozen. Now go ahead, guys. Y'all can go ahead and happy birthday, darling.
Can you hear me? Can you
Loud.
hear me now, sir?
Yes, I can hear you. There you go.
Okay, great. Sorry about that. I'm not in my place. I'm in the conference room, so I don't have my Zeta here.
No problem.
That's the
All
problem.
good.
I did hear the birthday. Thank you so much. Appreciate you and Mrs. Bean for this platform and allowing me to share. And, just as you were saying that, I am so grateful to have you and Mrs. Bean in my life. Thank God for you because, even in this training, if it wasn't for you, and, I love how you and Mrs. Bean, you have a way of, slapping us without using your hands, right? And the conversation. Sometimes I talk to Mrs. Bean, I'm like, let me just slap myself for you, right? Because we, we are in our own limitations all the time. So it's so great, like you said, to have somebody that can slap you in the face when you're, doing dumb things, because you do every day. And that one thing about Angel, if you have time, I see you. So if you're winning, I better see that in a post.
Mhm.
And thank you for stopping me in the face with that because sometimes I just don't, it's not that I don't want to share, it's just I'm not thinking about it, that it's going to impact or inspire somebody, and so I did start sharing, of course, immediately, right? And
Mhm.
and people are watching.
Yeah.
They're watching what you're posting, they're watching what you're doing, and it's not going to be the first touch, it's not going to be the second touch, it's not going to be the third touch. It might even be 10 or 11 when they keep on seeing you. So as they're seeing my growth in my training every day, thanks to Donnie and thanks to Roxy, because Roxy and the way that she explains things on the technical analysis is great. I love that as well. And so you can take that and take it into Forex, or where both of their teachings, you can simultaneous use it on everything, options, Forex. Technical analysis is everywhere, right? And I love learning from both, to where I'm able to now have great exit and entries, entries and exits, to make my account more. So I gave myself a great birthday present yesterday. You guys saw I made 630 in 30 minutes, but actually in 45 minutes, I made 1,030. So, so I am so excited to help share, my growth with everyone, because now they're, after that, they're like, okay, wait a minute. I need to hop on this call tomorrow because I need to see what you're talking about. So I'm so happy to share that I grew that $400 account to almost 4,000 in 3 weeks now.
Yeah.
So
And I told Mr.
I'm not
Navarro
excited
that
for me. I'm just excited.
I told Mr. Navarro that the other day. He was blown away.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I told him about that, and so he's excited about that, and because we want people to really understand that this is actually happening. And guys, that's actual money. That's not a demo account. Like I said, when we talk about humility, Angel, is one of those people. She's, and I just having the same conversation with Dr. Arlene yesterday. These are people who had some trading experience, before in the past, but they say, you know what, let me come in here and sharpen my tool. Let me come in here and get smarter. Let me come in here and get wiser. Let me come in here and see what the newest information is that's getting people to the bag a lot easier, simpler, and by mitigating more and more risk, right? And that's what she's done, right? And I'm proud of you for doing that. And that's one heck of a birthday present you gave yourself. And speaking of birthday presents, thank you for my birthday present. I appreciate it. I love it. You always do the sweetest things for Mrs. Bean and myself. Thank you. And so I'm looking forward to seeing the photos and hearing about the birthday lunch you and the ladies have today. After this is over with, after the event is over with. But anything else you want to share before I switch over?
Thank you, sir. So yes, like Mr. Bean saying, you have to put your trust in them, because they're always, always working behind the scenes for us. Everything is on purpose. Everything that they do has been meticulously foreplanned. It's not something they just throw in the books and hope that it works. It's they've anything that they come to you with has already been planned, has already been double, triple, whatever checked to make sure it's going masses. So I'm excited for the future for all of us here. And I'm so excited to be with our family and our community, and see how we grow in this next coming year. More millionaires on the beach for sure. Get ready for Cancun.
There you go. Yeah, get ready for Mobile Weekend 2026 is happening. And so, guys, I appreciate that, Angel. Great job. And like I said, great job on your numbers, great job on your trading, great job on your postings, right? And also for your team. And so that's very, very important, guys. You just when you're doing it, she's doing it, in front of her team members, so her team members can see her leading by example, right? It's very, very important. And so when we talk about running a business, remember, you are your project, you are your presentation, you are your product, you are your service. You know, that's why people always ask, so I got these leads, we selling leads. Well, have you used your leads? Because the last time I checked, on the person who's making money off of selling leads, or the person who is selling the leads, right? If your leads are so good, why don't you put your leads in my compensation plan in my business and run them, and let's see how it shows up for you, right? And so you trying to sell me your trading program, but are you trading? Are you learning? You trying to sell me your solar system? Do you have one on your house? You trying to sell me your water system? Do you have one in your house? You trying to sell me your travel vacation? I mean, let me see some of the savings that you actually had on your travel. Like literally I literally just I'm going to Florida next Wednesday to Sunday, for an event, and thank you, and more personal development, upgrading my speaking, and they have a room block at this hotel, and it's right there on the beach of Fort Lauderdale. Beautiful place. It's normally $229 a night. The room block was $129 a night, and I'm like, ooh, I got a really good deal, right? Well, when I sent it over to Aventi found it for 100. Well, Aventi had it for $104 a night. So their room block was awesome, but it wasn't Aventi. I saved another $25, another additional $125, 5 nights, by going through Aventi. So again, I'm a product of my product. Everything I sell, I use. Right? I have y'all know, y'all seen it. I have the solar, I have the water, I have the Ripple, and we don't sell Ripple. I have the travel, right? I have the box, the Zeta. Okay, I got it all. My wife is learning how to trade, right? And so we are literally, this is how you make a flat out fortune. If you become a walking, living, breathing billboard of the thing that you're focusing on and that you're selling people, you can talk about it passionately. Think about it. How many people drive that actually work at the Bentley dealership actually own a Bentley? Not many of them, if any at all. If they can afford to actually own a Bentley, they wouldn't work there, right? You got people who work at Mercedes Benzes, and guess what they drive? Toyotas, Nissans, right? And so again, I know who's selling something and I know who's experienced something. It's a whole entirely different conversation. Okay. So go out there and become, what you want to, what you want people to become. Go out there and let people see the future through you, and see the evolution. You don't even have to be where they're at. Just the fact that she made $4,000 in 3 weeks, off of a $400 account, it lets people know that I really don't actually have to have $10,000, $20,000, to make $4,000 in a month. I just need to have the patience and discipline to go and take a class and learn how to extract these pips from the market. Think about it. People say they need money, right? No, you don't need money, right? You need better habits and a better understanding. You need more discipline. You don't need money. Money is not your problem. It's how you're wired. That's the problem. The money is there. The money's always been right there in front of you. Right, Thomas? It's always been right there, man. You don't need money. You need a new attitude. You need a new mentality. You need a new understanding. You need a new dedication. You need a new discipline. You need a new skill. Okay, that's what you need. You don't need money. Money, no. Your need of money is a symptom of what's going on up here, of what's lacking up here, right? So instead of telling everybody, hey, look, we got this free 2-day boot camp that you can listen to, tell you how easy it is and show you how easy, why don't you go listen to it again, right? Why don't you really just go and wrap your mind around it again? Because even if you don't learn how to trade, it's going to teach you about economics. It's going to teach you about money and how the banks move, right? Where you can have an educated conversation with people if you can't have it already. This is a part of you being a product of the product. You don't have to trade, right, to be a product of the product. You can learn how to have a conversation about economics in all areas of the world and all your platforms and exchanges and stuff like that. You can have that conversation with people, and they know for a fact that, okay, well, she may not trade, but at least she understands what's going on. She understands the product and she understands money. We can have a little dialogue, right? It's still a product of the product. Okay. And so plug in to your service, plug into your product, plug into this moment. I'm telling you, because the day is the day, guys. Today, today is the day that people get left in the mud, left in the concrete. You get left looking like you're standing still because we are running. People are hunting, right? If we don't have 300 people on that call today, I'd be surprised and disappointed at the same time, because it lets me know exactly how many people don't understand where we at this moment. But that's not the thing for a leader. that just lets us know that's a gauge. It just lets us know what we don't have, so who we need to go get, and who we need to go recruit, who we need to go and extract from other companies in the industry, right? What type of opportunity we really have. And so everybody else who's in the company, if they're not moving with us, they get to watch. And I'm gonna just tell you that's one of the things you got to understand. It's not enough for you to be in the company when the company goes into momentum. You have to be a part of the reason why the company goes into momentum in order for you to receive the benefits. I am dedicated to the benefits. I am committed to the benefits. I am committed to making sure I make my contributions because when I do, I know the return on my contributions will be huge. Ask yourself today before you get off this call, okay, if my contributions today, were actually echoed and duplicated through my group, and my group did exactly what I did. They promoted exactly the way I promoted. They promoted exactly how much I promoted. They contacted exactly how many people that I contacted, and they said exactly the same thing that I said. In 6 months, based on the day, would I be 6 months older or would I be 6 months richer? Would I be building 250, 700, 3,500, exec 15, based on what you did leading up to today? Because that's what you want to pay attention to, because that's the mirror you need to look into right there. That's you talking about the window to your soul. That one, you ask yourself that question and pay attention to your actual answer and the response, like how you feel about it, and sit on it for a second. That'll let you know you should have did a whole lot more, and you need to get on the phone and make some more phone calls, or you know what, you're happy with what you did, and you still need to get on the phone and make some more phone calls. Okay. So do not waste this moment. Vic, I see your hand up. Make it quick because I want to make sure I get y'all off the phone, off this call, and get back into the Saturday. But what you got to say real quick?
Yes, sir. Just wanted to welcome Paul Epps to the team. He's plugged in. He's refereeing a game right now, but I emphasize the importance of Crash Camp, and I just wanted to welcome him to the Foresight family officially. And that was pretty much it. And I'm looking forward to today's event. And I'm still inviting, even though I'm behind the chair cutting hair, I'm still inviting guys, and let's keep it going.
Awesome. I appreciate it. And y'all know what we do. You got Paul Epps on, guys. Welcome to the Foresight family, Paul. This is what we know that you're rich before you do, right? Just like Peter Lee. You guys are new members to the family. Glad to have you guys here. Guys, go ahead and show them some love, guys. Welcome them to the family so we can make sure they know that they matter. Matter of fact, I see the chats, but come off mute. Y'all just come off mute real quick.
Welcome to the family. You matter.
Welcome
to the
Welcome
family.
to the family.
Welcome, Paul.
We
Welcome to the
matter.
family.
Welcome.
Thank you, you
Some
all.
great family.
That's what I'm
Welcome to
talking
the
about.
family.
Good deal. All right, guys. So right now, real quick here, I have a presentation. I'm almost done. It's a trading presentation, 100% trading. And so it's going to be a dynamic presentation. I'm putting a lot into it. I was going to do it on Friday, but I didn't want to rush it. But I do believe that I'm going to be doing that trading presentation multiple times in the upcoming week to help us bolster our recruiting numbers when it comes to building the community. And I will also get that out to you guys, so you guys will have access to a copy of it as well, so you can do your own presentations, one-on-ones and two-on-twos, whatever you want to do, right? And so because what I'm putting together and what I'm actually creating, you will be able to point and read. You can just download it on your iPads, your laptops, whatever, MacBooks, whatever, and just sit there, point and read, and give people an opportunity to be in a position of empowerment. Okay, that's one thing. The other thing is the futures training and trading will start next week, right? JCL, he's going to start next week. He's going to be announcing his schedule today on the call, and then he also has for those of you who you have a Spanish community that you're connected to, people who are Spanish speaking trainers. Um, he's going to have a Spanish speaking boot camp next Saturday and Sunday. okay, for futures. So it's going to be free, just like Donnie's was. We're going to do the same thing. My goal is to ramp up, the energy around the Latino market and Spanish speaking, get this thing going this week, so y'all can promote. And so he's going to be coming in, doing his thing. And then next week, what'll end up happening is he does his boot camp, and then the week after that, he's going to do the futures 2-day boot camp in English. Okay, so he's going to do a futures 2-day boot camp in English the following Saturday. So that's going to be a real big deal. That'll be announced today as well. And so again, what we're putting together, guys, is something that's going to be special, right? And remember, write this down. This is going to be the most admired landing spot in the industry. This is going to be the most desirable landing spot for entrepreneurs and traders. Correction, right? This is going to be Build will be the most desirable landing spot for entrepreneurs and traders. And get used to telling people that. You're used to making sure your team is telling people that, make sure you're telling people that, make sure you got that in your spirit, make sure that's in every one of your conversations, every one of your presentations. This company will be the most desirable landing spot for entrepreneurs and traders. Okay, so with that being said, welcome to our new family members, guys. Again, this is the Foresight family, where we know that you're rich before you do. Just so you know, Peter Lee and Paul, our goal right now as a group is Project 10,000, and Project 10,000 is helping 10,000 families over the next 5 years create a residual reoccurring income and passive income of $5,000 a month minimal. So, and that's global. Right. And so that's our mission. That's who we are. And I look forward to working with you guys and doing business with you. Otherwise, guys, we'll see you guys in 2 hours at the event. And we want to make sure that you guys pack out the house, continue to invite. And let's make sure you know that, remember, exclusivity, right? The first 100 people who enroll in that program, once Mr. Navarro announces it, those, again, it's everybody else will have a chance later on. But you want to be a part of the first 100. You want to be a part of the people. So, you know what, I got mine, I'm using it, and here are my results, right? And you can use that for marketing material and a marketing campaign. You don't want to allow that to fall in the hands of somebody else. You really want to make sure that you are in a position, wink, wink, to move forward when everybody else is still thinking about it. All right. So when the offer comes, okay, listen to the offer, not yourself. Listen to the offer, not your situation. Okay, pay really good close attention to what they say and get 100% of the value and take 100% of the action. Don't second guess it. Okay, be the first to go out there and press it. All right. So, love you guys. Again, as always, don't know what we did to deserve you guys, but we're going to do 100% of everything in our power to make sure that you get your goals and your dreams accomplished. So, see you guys at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Take care, guys.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.